Hey guys, welcome back. Got a special treat for you today. This is a really unique 2020 812 Superfast. This car is really significant in a lot of different ways. First off, the name. If a manufacturer calls a car Superfast, they better be able to deliver on that promise. This car is no exception. 800 horsepower, 529 pound-feet of torque, 12 cylinders, no turbos. So you've got nearly 800 horsepower with no turbos, no supercharger, no hybrid assist, just on pure engine alone. And this engine is absolutely a treat. It revs to 8,500 RPM. And the era of these engines is really setting right before our eyes. And we've got some really cool technology coming with hybrids and 6-cylinder turbocharging combination with hybrids like the new Ferrari 296. I mean, really capable car. But is there anything that really delivers like a 12-cylinder? This car, depending on which publication you read, will do 0 to 60 in 2.8, 2.9 seconds onto a top speed of 211 miles per hour. That's pretty impressive for a car that weighs over 4,000 pounds. And I guess that's one of the things about this car. If you jump in this car and you've got the expectation of going out and flinging around a lightweight sports car, this doesn't really deliver on that. As much as I like mid-engine, lightweight, rear-wheel drive cars, there is something that is really special about a luxury grand touring car that has a 12-cylinder exhaust note that makes massive power, easily goes over 200 miles an hour, and has an interior that is as nice as the finest leather store you've ever walked in. And that's really where this car delivers. So let's talk about specific options. I mean, all the 812s are really cool, but I mean, these cars, you can get one of these cars in the low 3 range if you order a base car, which obviously it's Ferrari world. Absolutely nobody orders a base car. This one, no exception. This car had an original MSRP of $493,000. Now, is it worth it? Only you can be the judge of that. The one thing I've learned in the car business after 20 years, money is all about perspective. I think what you're paying for here, you're paying for a power plant. To have that kind of power out of 12 cylinders and the sound that goes with it, there's nothing that can replace that. So you're really paying for that. With this particular car, you're paying for a spectacular option sheet as well. So as I mentioned, $493,000 MSRP. What's remarkable, $56,000 of that MSRP is just in carbon fiber. I mean, it's pretty spectacular. One of the other things that's really unique, in our world we see a lot of people that have varying opinions on wheels. It's love it or hate it, silver or I love silver wheels, I hate silver wheels. I love black, I hate black. Gold wheels can be pretty polarizing. These matte finish gold wheels are actually on the build plaque. So I'm big on originality. I like it when a car maintains its window sticker. So with something like this, I think it's key for the future valuation of the car if wheels like this stay their color. But I personally love them. I think they look fantastic. This is not a standard black paint. It's called Nero Daytona. Has a little bit of metallic fleck in it, and it really brings this car to life. And I think the wheels play off of that real well. But without going on too much more about that, let's listen to the engine note, because that's one of the key things. We can go out and take this car for a drive, and you'll have to let me know what you think in the comments below. So the first thing you notice in the 812 is just the sheer size of the car. I mean, I'm used to driving a 3,200 pound GT3, and this car is 700-800 pounds heavier than that. So you really feel the mass right away, especially over the front wheels. The steering is pretty disconnected. It's electric power steering in this car. Again, this is not supposed to be a car that you run on a slalom course, so it's not gonna feel perfect, completely perfect. But for the size of this car and how much weight is over the front wheels, it's really not that bad. Ferrari's done a good job getting as much liveliness out of the front steering as they can. in city traffic, I mean, the paddles are more of a gimmick than anything else. It's kind of fun. It gives you, I mean, the days of buying a manual transmission Ferrari are over at this point. So the days of just ultimate engagement with that gated shifter with the polished ball. I mean, if you've driven one of those, you know what I'm talking about. It's just hearing the clicks of engagement. It adds to all the senses when you're driving one of those cars. And this car doesn't have that. I mean, you're a bit disconnected from the driving experience, but for a GT car, I don't think really that's what buyers are looking for. And, you know, really, to be honest, when you're talking about 800 and some horsepower, do we really need a manual transmission in an 800 horsepower car? I kind of like, you know, 500 some horsepower cars naturally aspirated with a manual transmission. That's, for me, that's about the perfect limit of engagement, power, lightweight. So you start getting into a real big heavy car with 800 horsepower, and you've already gotten past the point of driver engagement, and now it's about having a gorgeous platform that sounds amazing, that's really, really fast. So that's what this car's about. And I think the purists have, including me sometimes, have really been hard on these companies that have gotten rid of manual transmissions. But for cars like this, there's just not tons of need for it anymore. I mean, if you want that engagement, you're going to buy a lighter weight, smaller car that is a lot more nimble than an 812 Superfast. It's kind of cool the way the Manatino and the control is right in the steering wheel here. You can adjust everything right here, from your wipers, your suspension dampers. All that stuff is adjustable right here. Even the turn signal controls are right up on the dash. And it's really nice. You never really have to take your hands out of this driving zone right here. Even your shift lights. The shift lights are built right into this carbon fiber steering wheel, and it makes for a pretty cool driving event. So we're going to put the car now, we're not going to do launch control, but we're going to put the car in sport mode, and we're just going to put it in first gear. We're going to put it in manual shift mode, and we're going to do a launch without launch control just to see what this thing feels like off the line. A little bit of wheel spin, not much. Then it grabs and goes, and just like that, you're over 100 miles an hour. It's unbelievable how fast a car this size gets off the line. But that's what you get. You get the 12-cylinder torque. You don't need forced induction when you've got 12 cylinders. The old rule about no replacement for displacement. I mean, you've got 6.5 liters here of engine. It's kind of a mic drop on anything else. It's just an unbelievable power plant in this car. Is this car comfortable enough to daily drive? Absolutely. I mean, the fit and finish on the interior is nothing short of exceptional. The leather is completely top grade, as you would expect it to be in a $500,000 car. The stitching's beautiful, the carbon's beautiful, the little red accents. Everything about this car is exceptionally well executed for what it is supposed to be. And you could daily drive this, but the practicality of it just isn't there. And, you know, even for someone who can write a $500,000 check, you know, do they really want to cruise around and get 9 or 10 miles to the gallon, you know, have a chance of rock damage on what's probably a $7,000 or $8,000 piece of glass up here? You know, those kind of limitations are the types of things that you think about on a car like this. And I get it, you know, everybody's going to comment, well, nobody buys this car to daily drive, and you're right. But that kind of brings up the argument, if this is the ultimate daily driver because of how nice the leather is, because of how nice the engine sounds, what else is it? Is it a weekend car? Is it something that you're going to drive on the racetrack? These things have really become collectible cars, status symbols, things that people buy to be seen in, and that's pretty much it. I mean, it's, you know, if you're a mechanical enthusiast and an engine enthusiast, I completely get buying a V12. It is worth owning this car just to have the 12-cylinder engine. So these cars are all about mechanical craftsmanship, industrial design, engineering, and that's why enthusiasts buy these cars. So it's kind of a shame that they're going away. I mean, I get it from a pure energy usage standpoint, but I mean, what a spectacular vehicle, and I'm thrilled that we had a chance to represent it a couple of times for various clients, and then to take it out on a drive and show you guys what it's all about. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the sound of that as much as I did. Definitely a spectacular when you got 6.5 liters of V12 screaming at 8,500 RPM. It's a pretty impressive sound. So thanks for going on that ride. I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Appreciate you checking out this 812 Superfast. And subscribe for future developments. We've got a bunch of cars that we're going to be reviewing down the road, and we'd like you to come along on every single ride. So thanks for joining us. Have a great day. See you soon.